Hello students, today we will study or we will move on to a new concept or new unit, that is equilibrium. The unit is called as equilibrium. Here you will be studying some concepts of physical equilibrium and then about chemical equilibrium also. Now when I say equilibrium, you have some idea that something has been equal there. So we will see what is equal and why this concept is very important. In our day-to-day life, we come across many reactions which are reversible in nature. Now when I say reversible reactions, what comes to your mind is there are some reaction which can be reversed at any instant of time. Am I right? Yes, the reactions which are reversible, if they are carried in a closed container, if the reaction is carried out in a closed vessel, then a state called as equilibrium is attained. So what is it? We will see now. In equilibrium, what happens is, before moving to this particular concept, let me explain you what is rate of a reaction. Rate of a reaction means we study the change in concentration of reactants or products with respect to time. You will briefly study, you will be studying in detail about this concept in your second PU class, that is in chemical kinetics unit. But for now, for you to understand what actually is chemical equilibrium, let me tell you. Consider a general reaction, for example, a reactant forming product. Okay. Now, a reactant forming product, in the sense, you can take an example that hydrogen and oxygen combines to form water, or carbon plus oxygen combines to form carbon dioxide, which is your favorite example probably. So there, reactants means, we write it on the left hand side. Products, we write it on the right hand side of the arrow mark. Yes, the indication of arrow mark, the arrow head indicates that there is formation of product in that side. Now I have shown an arrow mark this way. That means what? It is directing that, see, this is the reactant and the product is being formed on the right hand side. That is what it indicates, right? If suppose the arrow mark is on both sides, what does it indicate? It indicates that reactant can form product and product can in turn form reactants. Such processes are called as reversible reactions. I'll come to this again. Now let us speak about rate of reaction. So in chemistry, we use a term called as concentration. So what happens? Now you have taken, say, 10 gram of reactants. You have taken 10 gram of carbon and oxygen. 10 gram of carbon, 10 gram of oxygen. Now the reaction takes place. The reaction takes place and now the product will be formed. I'm just giving you example. Okay, this has nothing to do with with equilibrium. I'll tell you what actually I mean to say. Now say this is a reaction taking place. You have taken 10 gram, 10 gram. Now the product has to be formed, isn't it? Initially, no product, then gradually product starts forming. What happens to the concentration here? Where the 10 gram remains the same? No, it starts decreasing, isn't it? So we use the term, the concentration of reactants starts decreasing. What happens to the concentration of products? Concentration of products starts increasing now. This side it decreases whereas product increases. Let me give you an example which actually is applicable for this concept of equilibrium, that is hydrogen and iodine reacting. I have shown it with double-headed arrow mark. This arrow mark means that forward, that is reactant can form products and products can also form reactant. So this forms a product, hydrogen iodide. Okay, see here 2 hydrogen. So here it's only 1 hydrogen. So I'll have to balance by writing 2 here. Now 2 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, 2 iodine balanced. Now here let us take an example. What happens? initially hydrogen and iodine concentration will be high, isn't it? Then hydrogen iodide, initially no product will be formed, so concentration is nil there. Gradually this concentration starts decreasing, whereas the concentration of hydrogen iodide starts increasing. Rate of a reaction means, in another word, speed of a reaction. So we say rate of reaction is defined as change in concentration of reactants with respect to time. Now for example, I study the reaction and I say that in 10 minutes this is how the concentration has changed. Earlier this was 10 gram, it was 0 gram, there was no product formation. Later on, after 10 minutes, say this has become 5 gram now, whereas the product formation is 5 gram. See, the concentration of product started increasing, whereas concentration of reactants started decreasing. So change in concentration of reactants or even products also you can consider with time is called as rate of reaction. So you have got to know, you have a picture of what is rate now. Rate means velocity of the reaction, okay? In general words, velocity, but chemically we use this term called as rate of a reaction. Now the reaction, see, I have indicated it with the arrow mark this way, isn't it? Double-headed arrow mark. What does this mean? It means that both reactant can form product, product can form reactant. So forward reaction is also taking place, backward reaction is also taking place, which is the other terms that we come across. Forward reaction, backward reaction. Forward reaction, backward reaction. This is again the two important terms that we come across. Now, since you have known what is rate of a reaction, let's come to the concept of equilibrium. So equilibrium is that state. Actually what happens is, now when the reactant starts forming product, if it is a reversible reaction, the condition for equilibrium is that it must be a reversible reaction. Only if the reaction is reversible, then you can study equilibrium in it. If the reaction is irreversible reaction means which cannot be reversed at any instant of time, whereas reversible reactions means the reactions that can be reversed at any instant of time. It's called reversible reaction. One example is of hydrogen and iodine forming hydrogen iodide. Now in a reversible reaction, if the rate of forward reaction, now initially reactant starts forming products, again products also will start forming reactants, so this will be continuing like a cycle. Okay, reactant form product, product will form reactants, so the concentration first decreases in the case of reactants, increases in the case of products, but again when the products again in turn form reactants, its concentration will be varying. But at a stage what happens, the concentration of both becomes equal. That means we say rate of forward reaction and rate of backward reaction has become equal. As when you just look at the reaction, when you just look at the system, you feel like, okay, reaction has stopped, no reaction is taking place. But in actual what would have happened, both reactions will be taking place but in the same rate. That is why that condition or that state is called as equilibrium. You understood? For example, a general example I can give you. If you have taken water in a beaker and you have started heating it, you have started heating the water beaker, but what is the condition here? The condition is, one is the reaction must be reversible and the other one is closed vessel. It must be carried out in closed vessel. Otherwise, you know what happens if it is not closed vessel? The reactants tries to attain equilibrium with that of the surrounding, means with the universe. You can imagine how long it may take. So it's not easy to study equilibrium in an open vessel. Okay, it must be in a closed vessel if you have to study the state of equilibrium. Any system will try to attain equilibrium. This point you need to remember. Any system means, again, the condition is reversible reaction. The one which undergoes reversible reaction will try to attain equilibrium because it wants to be equal there. Okay, now if you start heating water which you have taken in a beaker, remember that it must be a closed one, beaker which is closed. Now what happens? Water will remain as it is? No, it will start forming vapors. When will it start forming vapors? See, the molecules will, however, the molecules of water has a tendency to flow. It will not be still. It will be flowing. But still, when you start heating, the kinetic energy increases. The molecule starts increasing with great speed. So the molecules which are moving at very high kinetic energy, they escape and form vapor. So they form vapors. Now what happens to the vapors? Vapors means water vapor in gaseous form, that is water in the gaseous form. It will start moving, it collides with each other, and when it comes to the surface of liquid, again a few of the molecules may convert into liquid phase also. So you have two phases there. One is liquid phase, other one is gaseous phase. So what happens is the molecules, this reaction will continue. Now what is happening? The process, water in liquid state is getting converted into water in gaseous state, that is water vapor. So this process will continue until when? Until a stage where now you feel like, okay, the reaction has stopped. But in fact what happens, rate of forward reaction becomes equal to rate of backward reaction. Both reaction will be taking place but at equal rate. That is what happens. So that stage where the rate of forward reaction becomes equal to rate of backward reaction is called as equilibrium. This is a very important definition that you need to remember. So now let us see. Let's write the definition for equilibrium. Equilibrium, the state at which the rate of forward reaction becomes equal to the rate of backward reaction is called as equilibrium. Now let's take an example, simple example, because equilibrium is also called as dynamic equilibrium. So there can be a question, it is also called in the sense it is said to be a dynamic equilibrium. Why? Dynamic equilibrium. So when you have heard a term dynamic, you may have some picture. Now if a person is very active, you call that person to be a dynamic personality, isn't it? So dynamic equilibrium means what? That means that when we look at that thing, that the system, we feel that the reaction has stopped, but in fact what happens, the reaction is still proceeding. The rate of forward reaction is equal to rate of backward reaction. That is why we call it as dynamic equilibrium. So we'll consider example, A plus B forming C plus D. What are these? A and B are reactants, C and D are products. Yes? If we plot a graph for this, so what happens? Reactants form products, products will form reactants. Now, A plus B giving C plus D, that is reactants forming products, is called as which reaction? Forward reaction. And one more thing, C plus D forming A plus B, that means reactants forming that is products forming reactants in turn. We call this reaction as backward reaction. Backward reaction. So let us plot a graph for this in general by considering the change in concentration of reactants and products. So if we plot a graph of rate versus time. Rate means, the velocity of the reaction with respect to time. If we plot a graph, then how it may look like. So let us plot a graph for A plus B forming C plus D, that is reactant forming products. So if this is a graph for A plus B giving C plus D, that is for forward reaction, then for another reaction, that is C plus D giving A plus B, if this is a graph, isn't it? Both are opposite reactions. This is C plus D giving A plus B. A stage that is attained. So what happens? This reaction will be proceeding and the other reaction will also be proceeding. The stage reaches where, here, this is a stage where rate of forward reaction becomes equal to rate of backward reaction. You see, this is for backward reaction, this is for forward reaction. This is a stage where rate of reaction becomes equal to rate of, that is rate of forward and backward reaction both becomes equal. This stage is called as equilibrium. Hope you have understood now. So whenever I speak about equilibrium, have this picture that the reaction has not stopped, but the reaction, that is rate of forward and backward reaction, becomes equal. That is why it is called as dynamic equilibrium, because it is still active. The reaction has not stopped. Okay, so that's about dynamic equilibrium. So how actually they studied these concepts of equilibrium, or how they know that it is dynamic, that the reaction has not stopped, using sugar. Okay, that comes in another concept, yet I will just explain how. So they took sugar solution. Okay, sugar solution means dissolving sugar in water. So they dissolved sugar. They started dissolving more and more sugar. Then a stage reaches where further sugar cannot be dissolved. Then they wanted to check whether the reversible reaction takes place or not. Saturated solution it is called. So what they did is a radioactive sugar, we say. Radioactive sugar means which can show radioactivity. Radioactivity, it can emit radiation after some time. So radioactive isotope of sugar was taken and that was added again. So what is expected? Usually it was expected that only the solution has that. Only the solution has radioactive sugar. But in fact, they saw that this radioactive sugar was observed in the crystal form as well as in the solution. That means it is interchanging. The rate forward reaction is also taking place, backward reaction, that is crystallization is also taking place, dissolution is also taking place. So that is why an equilibrium is further called as dynamic equilibrium. Hope you have got the point of this. Now let us see, there are some important transformations, that is I have told you physical equilibrium also you see, chemical equilibrium also we see. Let us see some examples or some types of physical equilibrium. Equilibrium is singular, equilibria is plural. Equilibria means plural form, many. Okay, equilibria involving phase transformation. See, phase transformations. Phase means solid, liquid, gas, the physical state. Okay, transformations, changes. So where there is physical changes like a solid getting converted into liquid, or liquid getting converted into solid, or liquid getting converted into gas, gas getting converted into liquid, all these involving that some equilibria which we will be studying. The first equilibria that we study under this, so you know this, isn't it? There are three important states: solid, liquid, gas. There is possibility that solid gets converted into liquid. In turn, liquid can also get converted into solid. One more way is liquid can get converted into gas, whereas gas can get converted into liquid. One more possibility is solid can get converted into gas and gas can get converted into solid phase. So one phase is solid liquid equilibria. So in this video we will discuss about solid liquid equilibria, and rest of the equilibria we will discuss in the upcoming videos. Solid liquid equilibria, I'll consider the most common example that we know, that is water in the solid state getting converted into water in the liquid state, isn't it? We are studying solid liquid equilibria. Water in solid state is nothing but ice. Water in liquid state, H2O in liquid state, is nothing but water in a liquid form. So what happens here is, what is the process of conversion of solid into liquid called as? Now if ice is getting converted into water, what do you call that process as? You call it as melting. Am I right? Melting. Water getting converted into ice, what do you call that process as? You call it as freezing. Freezing. This double-headed arrow mark indicates that there is equilibrium that can be attained, or that is a reversible process. In general, it's a reversible reaction. So what happens now? The reaction takes place and ice gets converted into, or it starts melting and gets converted into water, say at 100 degrees Celsius, or say at 0 degrees Celsius, the exact point 0 degrees Celsius. You can see that ice melts, and at the same time water also gets converted into ice. That means freezing also takes place, melting also takes place. So when we just observe, you can feel that the reaction is just, it has stopped. You see that only ice is getting converted into water or water getting converted into ice. In general, you cannot make out whether there is transformation taking place or not. But in actual, what is happening? Both the reactions are taking place, but at equal rate. That stage where the equal rate or equal transformation is taking place, you call that as equilibrium. So how do you define solid liquid equilibrium? The equilibrium, or the stage at which the rate of melting becomes equal to rate of freezing of water is called as solid liquid equilibria. What is it? The stage at which the rate of melting of ice, or you can say melting of solid, in general we are writing solid. In specific, if you are just mentioning that example, you can explain it in terms of example. Melting of solid becomes equal to the freezing of liquid is called as solid liquid equilibria. This is how you will define solid liquid equilibria. Example is H2O in solid state getting converted into H2O in liquid state. Make sure that you mention the physical states here. You have to mention solid here, liquid here. Only then you can show the phase transformation taking place, isn't it? Just mentioning H2O doesn't fetch marks here. So you have to mention H2O in solid state means ice. H2O in liquid state means water. Conversion of ice into water is nothing but melting. Conversion of water into ice is nothing but freezing. That also you have to mention. Okay. So this is how you will be explaining solid liquid equilibria. The next type of equilibria is liquid gas equilibria. There liquid and gas, that is transformations you see, interconversions. Whereas one more is solid and gas equilibria, which we call sublimation. No, that also we will be studying. Okay, this is about the important type of equilibria that you study. Thank you.